Hi folks, how's it going? Andy C here from Pro Prep. I thought I'd put this video together for everyone as part of my contest preparations for 2019 and just talk about some of the things that I've done a little bit differently from this prep to the last preps that I've done in the past. Most recently 2014 when I won my pro card and I competed as a pro for the first time, and 2017 when I competed in the Pro Grand Prix and in the World Championship. So since then, it's been 5 years. The last time I competed it was 2 years, and a lot of stuff has changed since then in terms of my my dietary approaches, my training approaches, overall philosophies and things like that. And I just thought I'd share some of those things with you. Also, I now work with Steph Noble as well. She's my partner in crime as part of Pro Prep coaching, but also my partner. And being around Steph has been really great for I would say give me a little bit of a bodybuilding renaissance in terms of my approaches to training, my philosophies around dieting and everything like that. Just being around her. I moved down to Sheffield in that time as well. I trained in different gyms and different environments around different people, and you just pick up lots of different things. On top of that, I also started lecturing in sports nutrition, doing research with people in the bodybuilding scene, in terms of the what strategies people use, which training approaches people use. So some of my training philosophies, my dietary philosophies, have been informed by that as well. So lots going on in that time. So way back in when I first sort of started bodybuilding was back in 2006. My approach was, I was doing a HNC, HND in health and fitness. I was really into training. I ran myself ragged, but my approach was, I guess it was a little bro-esque. And then I would start going to the BNBF bodybuilding clubs. I started getting guidance from Guy Addison. And I worked with Guy, I remember, from around about 2009 to probably about 2013. And a little bit of 14 as well. We worked really sort of closely together as I was developing my own knowledge of bodybuilding through my sports science degree, through my master's in nutrition, and then further from my PhD in human nutrition as well. So obviously I was bringing a lot to the table in that respect for bodybuilding. But the guy's got a great eye. He's seen me compete loads of times, and it was really great for keeping an eye on things in terms of was I coming in on shape, and was I sticking to the plan, and where did I need to adjust things? So really great partnership there, collaboratively wise. We won a lot of titles. I think I got my my 5th British title. That was 2 juniors, 3 middleweight titles, and competed in multiple world championships. So I learned a lot from that collaborative relationship. Really, really good in terms of putting things together. 2017, I moved into to Sheffield. I trained at a Titanium Strength gym. And obviously I was using all the things that I'd learned in the past, and I dieted myself fully for that show, and I managed to come 3rd at the Pro Grand Prix, and then after that I went to the World Championships and I came 3rd in the DFAC Pro Worlds next to David Kay, who came 1st, my good friend, Siobhan Cunningham, fantastic competitor, and I was in 3rd place. So my best ever package to date. And since then, a few things have happened again. I've moved around again. I've got different jobs, again, published different research. And again, I've prepped myself fully for this competition diet as well. But I've had Steph in my corner this time. She's kept an eye on me to say, okay, I think, Andrew, you maybe need to think about adjusting the calories a little bit here this time, because you're not coming in, or your calories are maybe too low because you look like you're a little bit flat. And that's the real benefit of having someone in your corner to just keep an eye on you in that respect. But in terms of things that I've done differently this time to last time, notable ones, so I'm going to go through these sort of things. So training, for example, has been different. I might have been more sensible. Can you believe it? For someone that's got a background in training in strongman gyms, doing powerlifting and strongman sort of stuff, lifting weight has always been something that's been really important to me. My goal's always been to be the strongest, biggest guy I could possibly be. So lifting weight always really matters. But this time round, I've sort of made conscious decisions that if I've been a little bit sore, I've backed off on certain exercises rather than just keeping them in. So I've sort of moved away from this sort of idea. You have to absolutely 100% keep the compounds in all the sort of time. And I've just sort of moved away and lived to fight another day a lot more. I mean, I've got the muscle in my frame now. The muscle is there. It's just been a case of making sure that I keep the muscle there throughout the contest dieting period by moving heavy weights and alternative exercises and maybe doing the compound in an hour a week and just not being sore all the time because it's a bastard. Okay, big thing I've done this time is, in the past I've always just trained 4 days a week. So I've split back, chest, shoulders, legs up, along with accessory body parts. This time I've done it 5 days a week, and having the 5 day a week program just allowed me to split things up a little bit more. It's allowed me to do a lot more volume for those smaller body parts, because in the past I was just tired by the time I'd got to the smaller body part. I'd be training with the larger body part. So it's allowed me to put more focus on things. I've not neglected things as much, so I've really hit my calves much more. I've done my arms much more. I've actually trained my abs throughout the whole process just now. I know it sounds bad, but these are things that sometimes fall by the wayside as I've been a little bit lazier with doing intense training on larger body parts. So I've done that, and I think that's been a real benefit to my physique. Hopefully we can see the difference when I get up on stage. Maybe my arms will be bigger, my abs will be better, and my calves will be bigger as well. I've stopped really conventional deadlifting heavy. So I stopped wearing a belt for this whole prep for conventional deadlifting, just because if I wear a belt, I can lift more weight. And I've decided my back, I've had loads of disc issues in the past, and I thought, I'm not going to wear the belt anymore. I'm just going to deadlift without the belt, and then it'll force me to go lighter, and then I'll maybe not have the back issues. But actually at the same time, I've just kind of backed off completely with the deadlifts, and I've started training hamstrings with back, and doing hamstrings first in the workout and then back second. So I'm doing stiff leg deadlifts usually first in the workout without a belt. That's giving me a good back hit at the same time as hitting my glutes and my hamstrings, and then I'll go on and I'll train back there after that. So that's the one thing that I've majorly changed. And you know what? Day to day it's less sore and my quality of life is better. I'm not getting out of bed now and just being like, oh Jesus Christ. And I'm not popping ibuprofen all the time. I'm not taking naproxen for lower back injuries as well at the same time. And training my abs I think has been really good as well, because it's stopped me from getting lower back pain quite as much as well. So if you've got lower back pain, I recommend train your abs. I've started doing hip thrusts, so you know, glute ham bridges, hip thrust sort of things in the Smith machine or in a glute ham sort of setup if you've got one in your gym. So I'm basically a bikini competitor now. But in all seriousness, I found it's been really good for my hamstring development. It's been good for my abdominals and lower back as well, and it's been good for my hamstrings as well. So hopefully we'll see a difference in there. It probably helps with the lockout and the deadlift, but like I say, I'm not doing really heavy deadlifts anymore. I'm just doing the stiff leg variety as well. I'm now squatting at the end of my workouts. Again, back pain. I've moved them to the end of my workout, but I got a knee injury halfway through my prep. And I managed to get up to 212 on the squat this year off the back of another injury in the groin. So I didn't manage to get to the high 230s, 240s that I'd got to in the past. So I started a little bit later on the squat this time round. But I got a little knee niggle, a little knee injury, so I had to back off for a few weeks. And I've now put the squats at the end of my session. So now I do all the quad work first. So I'll do quad leg extensions, leg press, hack squat, lunges, and then I'll squat last. And because you're squatting last, it takes the pressure off the knee, and it means I can't squat as much at the same time. I've also started doing much more single leg movements. So I've started doing more single leg leg press. I really enjoy it. I think it hits my hamstrings really quite well, and it sort of hits my glutes really well as well at the same time. So I've started doing that as well. I'll probably, when I get back to the off season, because I love squatting, get back to being heavier as well on that movement. I might start doing it first, but just a little change there. I've benched heavy throughout my whole workouts, through my whole prep, so I managed to get some good benching numbers, but I've been doing sets of 5 on the bench for the whole prep now instead of doing sets of 10 where I would do traditional bodybuilding stuff, and I've managed to keep 140 on the bench for near enough the whole prep. And this has helped my shoulder press, because I've managed to do some good shoulder press too, so whole shoulder girdles been benefiting from that. Never really done them in the past because I was always doing shoulders with like triceps, so I would take the front raises out because I'd be close grip bench pressing, and I wanted to sort of take some emphasis off the front delts because I was going to do the close grip bench press. But this time, because I'm doing shoulders with abs, throwing the front raises in there, we'll see if it makes a difference to my front deltoids in the end. I've added cardio to my workout routines, so in the past, I've never been one that's caned the cardio. This time round, because I'm doing just so much less activity than my previous jobs, moving around a little bit, I've chucked in 15 minutes cardio at the end of all my resistance training sessions for the last month, and it's helping bring me in a little bit as well. I think this is down to the lack of activity that I'm doing though, compared to previously. And the other thing I've been doing is I've been watching steps. So I would do about 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. It's not a lot. So I have to do the cardio. And now I'm trying to get at least 7,000 steps because I'm sedentary in a job. Previously, when I was prepping, I was doing a lot more steps, a lot more activity. So I wasn't doing that cardio. So that's what's going on there. I'd rather do the extra steps, do a little bit of cardio and keep the food high than drop the food. That's just how I do it. Which takes us on to the next one. So dieting. Changes here in the diet respect. Following what I've learned in 2014, 2017, I just get in better shape the longer the diet goes on. By the time I would diet for the British, I'd look in pretty good nick. I'd get to the world finals, I'd be even better. It's just the extra time dieting. So taking that on board, normally would do a 20-week diet. Now I've done 28 weeks for the diet for this one round. So hopefully I'm a little bit leaner. You can see I've got some veins. And at the same time, the research that I've done on natural bodybuilders, I mean, you can look into that. I've documented quite a lot of this on my Pro Prep page, on other videos we've talked about, carbs for condition, for example. But one thing is, we know that pros diet for slower, longer periods of time. That allows them to lose weight slowly. It allows you to keep the muscle on your frame, and it allows you to keep your food very high, which helps you train a little bit more. So I've just dieted longer. This has been about a 28-week diet. By the time I finish this contest, maybe do other ones, I could be past 30 odd weeks, and hopefully I'll be even sharper. Other things, I've ate more fat. So, I mean, I've still eaten a lot of carbohydrate. I think in the past I've been up at like, say, about 450, almost 500. This time round, I'm only about 420, 400. But I've put those extra calories into fats. So rather than dieting super low fat, I thought, well, I'll just throw them into fats and eat slightly less carbs. Still a really high carb dieter, but I've just eaten a little bit more fat. More variety in my diet. So I've ate bread, I've included butter, dairy in my diet, rice cakes, things that I would never normally have in previous diets. Because I've been dieting for so long, and it's been such a slow phase diet, I've been able to keep these things in my diet much longer than I normally would do. Now, the bread's gone now, and the butter that I would put on the bread for my spreading it is gone now. But they're only gone because it's difficult to track the size of a loaf, because it changes and so on. So I wanted to sort of keep things consistent in terms of the energy that's coming in. And for more information on that, you can read that Can It Fix Your Macros article on the Pro Prep website, and you'll know what I'm talking about there. But low-fat yogurt, for me, I find that it's not been an issue at all, affecting the way that I look. This prep as well, I mean, in years gone by, I would have been able to sit down and have meals of chicken and rice and potato all the time, but I've just not got time for it to do it anymore. I've got to be able to grab something that's quick at my desk and just get it down there and then still continue to do my work. I can't have 6 sit-down meals per day. So that's something that I've kept in my diet throughout, just yogurt, because it's easy for me to keep it in, and it's a good source of protein as well. I've ate peanuts instead of almonds. Peanuts and almonds have got fairly similar macronutrient content. I've made it fit in my diet, if you like. And I like peanuts, and they're half the price of almonds, so I thought, well, why not? A few other things. So, posing. I've always posed in my preps a lot. I don't do morning cardio. I just pose in the morning. I pose every single morning. I do 20 minutes. Isometric posing is tough. That's something I've done for my whole prep. But the difference between this one and previous preps is I'm a better poser now. Working with Steph has been great. She's helped refine my posing just that little bit more. I've always been quite a good poser because I pose a lot. People like my routines, but she's just tightened things up a little bit, helped me hide my weaknesses a little bit more, display my strengths a little bit more as well. So that's been really good, and I'm looking forward to her helping me even more with routines and things like this at the same time. I've practiced the vacuum. I don't know if I've quite perfected it yet, but it's definitely getting there. What I have noticed is that it's brought my waist in tighter. So I think I've got a smaller waist because I've been doing the vacuum pose, and I can definitely control my abdominals much more than I normally would be able to. I mean, I normally say that the abs and thighs shot, you should just hit your abs and thighs because the vacuum doesn't really give you anything. But I like the classic shot, so do them both is what I'm going to say. The final thing I'll say is, coming into this prep is, I mean, I just believe in myself a little bit more as well coming into this one, into the pro show. So having someone like Steph's been great to keep me accountable for it. She's extremely positive, but she's really good with her feedback as well. So she's seen me compete several times. She knows what I look like compared to my best versions of myself, so she can say, Andrew, you need to come in a little bit more. Andrew, I think you're overthinking things a little bit, and I have a tendency to do that. And just to relax a little bit and believe in myself. And it's really good having someone that can be constructive and positive and give you credit when you're due it for that, rather than maybe a drill instructor approach sometimes, which can work for some people, but I think it's always better to build people up. And I mean, when the tough conversations need to be had, you have them. But again, like I say, much better to build people up rather than to flog them and give them telling offs all the time in terms of your contest prep. So that's our video. These are all the different things that I've done this time compared to 2014, 2017 and now 2019, the contest prep. I'll probably look back on this in a few years' time and be like, wow, you're doing a few different things again, Andrew, now, if I do any more contests, that is. But yeah, I prep myself for these competitions. It's a funny thing who coaches the coach or who coaches the pro, but I do this all myself. I get input from Steph. She gives me feedback. She tells me, Andrew, you need to come in a little bit more. You're maybe a little flat. I take that feedback and then I make adjustments to the diet depending on what it's doing. These are the things that I've done differently this time round. I'll probably write a little review. This is almost a review video for myself, but I'm pretty happy with how I'm looking up to this point. And we'll just have to see how I get on with these competitions. And there'll no doubt be some more videos reviewing that and seeing how I've managed to do. So thanks very much for your attention. If you've liked this video, then leave a comment, share it, like our website, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for everyone for all your support, and if you see me at a show, if you've got any questions or if you want to get in touch with us about coaching or anything like that, then don't hesitate, because we'd love to help you on your journey. Alright, thanks very much. Peace.